Hey everybody, hope you're having a good day. Today, I'm gonna talk a little bit more about the INFP and how we go about getting into a relationship or just starting to talk to somebody, and exactly how we think or go into doing that. And because it is a process, we kind of want people, or we want our partner to be a lot like us, because we think if they're mostly like us, then we can deal or know how to deal with the negative situations better, rather than having somebody that's kind of completely opposite of us, where it might work and have a good qualities about that can bring a lot of new things and maybe help us perceive differently on how other people act, or just the different things that people can have, especially if it's an extrovert. I think for me personally, as an INFP, I think I look for, I guess I would say, somewhat of a ENFP. More so just because I like that they would have the extroverted quality and let me have the introverted, just because that way we still kind of share a lot of the same qualities, but I still like the dynamic of being with somebody that's a little bit more extroverted than me, because I most of the time I'm the person that's kind of passive and laid back, and I kind of like to have a girl that won't say everything that's on her mind, because I think there's a time and place for everything, but I do like my partner to be able to speak on their emotions, because I'm not great at it. I mean, when it's brought up, I'm good at expressing how I feel, but I'm not usually the person that initiates what I feel, because us as INFPs, we think that, which is not a good thing sometimes, we think that the person we're with should most of the time know why we're mad in the first place, because to us it's obvious. Like, if you do something and my mood changes, you're gonna tell when an INFP's mad, because we're either gonna be quiet, we're gonna be doing our own thing, we're not even gonna say it. So sometimes it can be like that, but that's why it's good to have maybe an extroverted person to be with, because that way, if they have a problem, or even if I have a problem, most of the time probably an extrovert would ask what's wrong, or if they have a problem, they'll tell you, and that's good for us, because that way we're still communicating. It's not good to let things blow by. And sometimes as INFPs, we're like, we might be mad in the moment, but we most of the time can get over being mad. But it's definitely a lot better just to have your partner understand why you were mad in the first place, so it doesn't happen again. And I do hope that a lot of you relate to what I'm saying, and hopefully it's not too much of just my own personal things or way I go about things. As INFP, we're very caring, very sympathetic with our partner. We can bring a lot into a relationship, but the thing is, when you're first getting to know us and we're first getting to know you, the better things that we can show you aren't gonna come until probably later, because for us, we have to, of course, fill you out first. We have to observe you. We have to see how you act in situations. We have to, of course, we have to, in a way, idealize the relationship. And we put these pictures in our head of how we think us and our partner would be. It's like we already make a movie script of how the relationship's gonna go before it happens, which of course isn't good all the time. But we put this like script together of how we think the relationship's gonna go and how it's gonna be, but most of the time, of course, it doesn't work like that. But we still try to find people with a lot of our qualities and a lot of things that we like to do. We try to bring them, we want a partner that already is interested in the things that we are interested in. Just because that way it runs a little smoother. For instance, I'm into art, fashion, anything artistic, drawing, writing, movies, whatever. So anybody that will already have that in them, I kind of already gravitate towards. And of course, I look for someone that is on the same, that has the same, not the same mindset, but more so the same understanding of life, or it's at a certain level consciously. So for instance, there's been plenty of people that I could have been in a relationship with and it probably would have went very good, but my idealistic ways have made me not get into those relationships, because I know that I could actually settle down with somebody or try to make it work and compromise and do these things, but for an INFP, our morals and our own way of thinking, and I don't know exactly how to put it, we have in our mind already a certain partner that we want. We know in a way exactly what we want. So it's if we don't see something in our partner that we know we must have, we won't go that much farther with that person, especially at a young age. I feel like I feel like if that person doesn't have a certain quality or certain things that I like in a person, then I know that I have time to find that person. I don't like being content with something that I'm not 100% in. Another thing about us is that when we actually find somebody, they might not always be actually what's good for us. Sometimes, like for me, since I'm passive sometimes and very laid back, not too active in the way of I'm not too, like I said, I'm not going to always express how I'm feeling or talk all the time and just stuff like that. I look for people, or I most of the time look for females that have a certain edge to them, because for me, I like to see the fire in my partner because it's not there all the way with me. I like for my partner to have that opposite effect. I like them to be the one that's most of the time blunt, or like I said, says what's on their mind, because for me that works in a way that brings it out of me. I think we could make it work out with another, say, INFP or an an INFJ. But the thing about that is, if that were to happen, we would both have to understand that how we communicate would need to change. We would have to understand that when we have problems, we have to deal with them, because us being introverted, sometimes we let things go and then try to come back later and just act like nothing happened. But every situation can't work like that, because every situation has different levels of intensity, of course. And there is a time that you have to talk about what's on your mind. And if you don't, it gets built up. And sometimes, I know with me, if it gets built up too much and it's on my mind heavy, say an argument comes up, if it's already built up within me, something negative can really happen, because when certain emotions get pushed and an INFP has something already built in their, that has been built in their head on how they feel about a situation, and it hasn't been confronted or talked about, we might end up saying stuff that we don't want to say. Because when we're mad and we get pushed to a certain limit, our words can be very hurtful, very hurtful. We don't mean it, and we try our hardest not to let those things happen. But when that does happen, our partner can really get their feelings hurt, because at that point, we don't really care. Well, I'm not gonna say everybody, and I'm not gonna say that we don't care about how they're feeling at that moment, but we care more so about the fact that we're not being heard, and we've actually been wanting to say something for a long time, and the fact that it hasn't been brought up, or we haven't talked about it, that can build up a lot of negativity on that situation, and it can be brought out when that argument comes. And it's not good for us to have partners that say hurtful things back either, because it's going to be a lot of problems, because when it comes to arguments, which we rarely, very rarely even let happen, because we just avoid conflict most of the time in any way. But when that does happen, we kind of can lose control of what we might say. And that's not a good thing. So, like I said, I think for us, it's better to have an extroverted personality as a partner, but they should probably have the same interests in life, and some of the same morals in life. Thanks you guys for watching. If you like, subscribe or comment. I love comments. Keep commenting. And I'm gonna try to get these videos out every Saturday. I know today is Sunday and I've been pretty busy. But yeah, so thank you, and I hope you guys have a good day and live a positive life.